Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councillor Geisler.
Here.
Councillor Hochschild.
Here.
Councillor Nelson. Here. Councillor Peterson. Here. And Mayor Boucher.
Here. We have announcements section here. Any councilors with announcements they'd like to make?
Redistricting maps will come out around February 15th. So we'll know what legislative district Hermantown is in at that time, and that will be interesting.
And that is the ones from the court?
Yes.
Thank you. Anything else from council? I wanted to mention some procedural things for anyone either attending in person or online. We will have different areas of time for public discussion. Near the beginning of the meeting, there will be an item for public discussion of anything not on the agenda this evening. That is for all items that we're not going to be voting on tonight. If we had a public hearing, we would have public discussion in connection with that, but there is no public hearing this evening. And after that, motions, ordinances, and resolutions, we will have a motion or a point of time for public discussion on any item that we will be voting on that has a chance of passing. So if it was the first reading of an ordinance, we do not have public discussion for that. But anything that has a chance of being voted on and passed tonight, we'll have a separate time for public discussion during the discussion of that item. Mr. Mulder, communications.
We have two items in your packet. Both of them are from staff, just about updating you on a contract that with St. Louis County, and then just letting you be aware that we're going to be removing some trees as part of the Uggstead Road project.
Thank you. We have no presentations at this meeting. Now is the time for general public discussion. If anyone either online or in the audience in council chambers has items to discuss with the council or present to us that are not on the agenda, please state your name and address for the record. If you're in chambers, you can approach the podium. If you're online, feel free to speak at this time.
Thank you, Council. My name is Bryce Hansen. I'm here with the Hermantown Youth Soccer Association. We have been making preparations to begin the process of a business plan, as well as land acquisition, looking at the possibility of doing an indoor facility in Hermantown. It has come to our attention through this process that the city of Hermantown may already be engaged in this process with another organization. Before we spend blood and treasure to go through the process, we were wondering if we could be enlightened on that, if anybody knows of something that's going on. If they would like to share that with us, we would be happy to partner with said organization. We would just like to be part of it. Being a nonprofit, we don't want to spend money that we don't have.
I understand. We'll have someone from staff contact you for some conversation on that. If you could leave a contact information with the city clerk before you leave, if you leave before the end of the meeting. Otherwise, feel free to stick around till the meeting's over and we can have some conversation then. Thank you. Is there anyone else in chambers that wishes to address the council at this time? Seeing none, is there anyone on the online meeting that wishes to speak to the council? If so, start with your name and address, please. One last opportunity for public discussion. If anyone wishes to speak to the council, please state your name and address. Am I missing something? Okay, if there is no public discussion, we will move on to the consent agenda. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councillor Hochschild, second by Councillor Geisler. Roll call, please.
Councillor Hochschild.
Aye.
Counselor Nelson. Aye. Counselor Peterson. Aye. Counselor Geisler.
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Motions. Motion A, a motion to approve or deny a sewer credit of $63,710 for the Y at the Essential Wellness Center. Do we have a motion?
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Nelson. Mr. Mulder.
So this is as a result of identifying that there had been a leak in the pool during 2021. We didn't catch it right away. And so we've talked about this. Originally, the Utility Commission did give a 1 month credit for the sewer leak, but as we looked at this closer, we saw that it was over several months. This would be in keeping with what we've done in various private homes where we've known that they've had a leak or a situation where the water did not go down the sewer, so we don't charge them for the sewer portion of it.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments from council on this?
I'd just follow up that I think Mr. Mulder and I have had some conversations about pursuing this a little bit further with McGuff Construction to find out a little bit more what happened and why it happened and what they did to do the exact fix and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Thank you. Anything else from council? Is there any public input on this motion? If so, please state your name and address for the record. Is there any public input on the motion to approve a sewer credit of $63,710 for the Y at the Essential Wellness Center? With no public input, I'd ask for a roll call.
Counselor Nelson.
Aye.
Counselor Peterson.
Aye.
Counselor Geisler.
Aye.
Counselor Hochschild.
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Ordinances, ordinance 2022-01. An ordinance amending section 220, city administrator of the Hermantown City Code by modifying the city administrator's ability to sign for purchase orders for set limits. This is a first reading. Next, we will move to resolutions. Resolution 2022-10, resolution amending and restating resolution number 2021-87, ordering improvement and directing preparation of final plans and specifications for road improvement district number 538. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Geisler, second by Counselor Hochschild. Mr. Mulder.
At the last meeting, we had a public hearing on the road improvement plans for the Hermantown Marketplace, District 538. And so because there weren't 4 members of the council there, we actually had it tabled because we needed 4/5 votes on this resolution.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments from council? With no comments from council, do we have any public input on resolution 2022-10? If so, please state your name and address for the record. Is there any public input on resolution 2022-10? With no input, we would have a roll call.
Counselor Peterson.
Aye.
Counselor Geisler.
Aye.
Counselor Hochschild.
Aye.
Counselor Nelson.
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-15, resolution approving the donation of easements to the city of Hermantown, the Uggstead Road and the Arrowhead Road improvement. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Counselor Nelson, second by Counselor Peterson. Mr. Mulder.
Again, this is a situation where we had this on the agenda at the last meeting, but again, we need 4 votes for this project. This resolution is the city donating the easements to the project. And we're doing that little extra step this way because we want to make sure that all the paperwork is in proper order because we're getting federal funds for this project.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Hearing none, is there any public input on resolution 2022-15? If there is any input on resolution 2022-15, please state your name and address for the record. Roll call, please.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson.
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-17, resolution authorizing the Director of Finance and Administration to amend selected 2021 budgets and make transfers. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Housechild, second by Counselor Nelson. Mr. Mulder.
Maybe Mr. Orm can provide a better explanation than I have.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Periodically, we go through the budgets and look to see if there's anything that needs to be amended. Usually it's annually. In this resolution, there's a couple budget amendments and a couple transfers primarily related to one, redoing some bonds and refinancing some bonds, and two, apportioning out the costs between the various buckets for the Big Junction road improvements this summer. So that's what we're presenting to you tonight.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on this resolution? If there's any public input on resolution 2022-18 or 17, please state your name and address for the record. With no public input, I'd ask for a roll call.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson.
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-18, resolution authorizing and directing mayor and city clerk to execute an acceptance of easement agreement to the city of Hermantown from Independent School District number 700 for the Uggstead Road and Arrowhead Road improvement. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Housechild, second by Counselor Nelson. Mr. Mulder.
Again, as part of the Uggstead and Arrowhead Road improvement project, we asked the school district to grant us some easements. Most of them are temporary, but there were a couple of permanent ones for some culverts that we were putting under the road. So they approved those at their January 24th meeting. So we're asking you to accept those. And because of this is a road project, we think this needs 4 votes.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on this resolution? If so, please state your name and address for the record. Is there any public input on resolution 2022-18? With no public input, I'd ask for a roll call.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson. Aye. Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-19, resolution approving amendments to planned unit development for the plat of Pineview. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Geisler. Mr. Mulder, should we ask Mr. Johnson
Yes,
to
please.
explain this? Eric?
Great, thank you very much. What this is a PUD amendment to the Pineview plat and PUD. This was originally approved back in 2005 as a all twin home development. This property is located east of Uggstead Road and south of Highway 53. In 2010, the developer at that time asked the city council to have the first amendment associated with this, where a handful of the lots were converted from twin homes to actually single family. That had been approved in 2010 as there was a downturn in the market for two-family homes. Now, fast forwarding to 2021 and 22, a local builder, developer, citizen has purchased a couple of the lots within this development. Last year, he did request that 2 of these lots were converted back to the two-family homes. That was approved in late 21. That person has now purchased the 2 adjoining lots next to it, is asking for the same thing, that these lots no longer have the single family designation, but he has the ability to construct 1 twin home on top of those.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on this matter? If so, please state your name and address for the record. there any public input on resolution 2022-19? Roll call, please.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-20, resolution approving preliminary and final plat of Radar Run and imposing conditions on the final plat.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Counselor Nelson, second by Counselor Geisler. Mr. Mulder, should we have Mr. Johnson
Yes, please.
add this again? Eric?
Great, thank you again. What this is a preliminary and final plat for the subdivision of 5 acres of land along Getchell Road. It's just north of the White Pine Red Cedar development. The applicant and the developer purchased this entire 10-acre property, which had been on the market for some time, for the purpose of subdividing it and having a single-family home development. After numerous iterations, the developer finally came up with the idea of subdividing just the front 5 acres of this property into 6 individual lots. Each one of these lots either meet or exceed the R3 zoning conditions associated with that area. So each lot is either 100 feet or greater in width and over 1/2 acre in size. So this is a standard plat that we would see under the ordinance. There will be the extension of water and sewer that will need to be happening for this development. That will occur via a utility extension agreement. That is in the process right now. Staff is working with the applicant on the plans for that, and we would see that at the city council probably in the next 1 to 2 months for that.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on resolution 2022-21? If so, please state your name and address for the record. Is there public input on this resolution for a special use permit or the final plat of Radar Run? With no public input, I'd ask for a roll call.
Member Geisler,
Aye.
Member Housechild,
Aye.
Member Nelson,
Aye.
Member Peterson,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution
Sorry.
Resolution 2021-22-21, resolution approving special use permit for the construction of a 2-family home in an R3 residential zoning district and within a recreational shoreland area. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Geisler, second by Counselor Housechild. Mr. Johnson.
Great, thank you again. What's before us is a special use permit for both the construction of a 2-family home in an R3 zoning district. That home would be taking place in an existing recreation shoreland area. Twin homes or 2-family homes are allowed under the R3 zoning ordinance, assuming they meet specific requirements, i.e. greater setbacks as well as lot size for this. This is an existing outlot associated with the Evergreen 4th Edition, otherwise known as a Grouse Ridge development. This lot had been vacant for a number of years. It's been on the market for about the past year. The applicant has since purchased this property for the ability to construct this 2-family home. There is a portion of upland area, which is non-wetland area, located in the northeast portion of the site. The applicant is proposing to locate that 2-family home in that location. There will be wetland impacts associated with that. He will be required as one of the conditions to work with the Hermantown Technical Evaluation Panel for these wetland impacts. This development, or this 2-family home does meet the dimensional requirements associated with this type of use, i.e. it meets the 40-foot side yard setback as well as a 50-foot front yard setback. And the lot size is greater than the 1 acre, this being a 4-acre lot.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from council? I just have one comment that I was contacted by the northern property owner of this when the property was put up for sale last year with concerns about some type of debris that has been deposited on this property adjacent to that homeowner's property. That is something, Eric, that we would look at during the construction and make sure that debris is not buried or left in place? Is that?
Exactly, that we have the ability to add to the conditions that, right now, we don't allow on-site burning of material, for instance, or burying. So this is a great opportunity to get that removed and get that site cleaned up.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from council?
I have one, just one.
Go ahead.
Access to this property, will that be off of Gross Ridge or will it be off of Levake?
It'll be off of Levake.
Okay.
That Gross Ridge right of way that the city still maintains, that's the extreme south end of this property, and that's 100% wetland down there.
Thank you.
So this is at the far end of that 4-acre property.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from council? Is there anyone from the public that wishes to comment on this resolution? If so, state your name and address for the record. Are there any public comments on resolution 2022-21? Roll call, please.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-22, a resolution approving amendments to the management compensation plan.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Housechild. Mr. Mulder.
So we have settled all of our union contracts through 22, 23, and 24. We met with the management employees about a week and a half ago and are making these recommended changes.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on resolution 2022-22? If so, please state your name and address for the record. Is there any public input on this resolution? Roll call, please.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson, Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-23. Resolution authorizing and directing the distribution of the pay equity study to the state of Minnesota for the city of Hermantown.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Geisler, second by Counselor Peterson. Mr. Mulder.
So we're required by the state of Minnesota to review our pay plan, so to make sure that we have equity across gender. And so we file this every 3 years. And so we have Baker Tilly, used to be Springstead, kind of analyze that and do all the tests, and we are in compliance.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on resolution 2022-23? If there's any public input on this resolution, please state your name and address for the record. Roll call, please.
Counselor Peterson.
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-24. Resolution approving an update to the City of Hermantown, Minnesota Government Data Practices Act, City Hall procedures. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Counselor Nelson, second by Counselor Peterson. Mr. Mulder.
So for this resolution and then the next one, we review those on an annual basis. And the only upgrade that we're change that we're making is a reference to the new city clerk.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council?
All that paper for the only change?
Little bottle of whiteout.
That's why,
232 pages in the
that's why we don't print it out.
Any other questions or comments from council? Is there any member of the public that wishes to comment on this resolution? If so, please state your name and address for the record. Is there any public input on resolution 2022-24? Roll call, please.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-25, resolution approving an update to the City of Hermantown, Minnesota Government Data Practices Act, Police Department Procedures. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Counselor Nelson, second by Counselor Geisler. Mr. Mulder?
Again, this is the same thing. This is for the police side of the operations, and it's an update just for the city clerk.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Hearing none, is there any public input on resolution 2022-25? If there is any public input on this resolution, please state your name and address for the record. Roll call, please.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson. Aye. Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. And next, last on the agenda is a motion to recess. Do we have a motion?
Motion to recess?
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, seconded by Nelson and Geisler. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign.
So I was gonna tell you like earlier, what